just something different for this video. I decided to rip off my favorite YouTuber. Let's put his face up there. Yes, he's like, and speaking of clowns, because he's very clowny in this picture here, we're doing a review on Terrifier 2, which I just saw in the theaters. Now, if you watched our last video, you remember that one, don't you, Wellington?
Of course I do!
With Elmo the Eye. Yes, Elmo the Eye. As a matter of fact, we took Elmo the Eye to the theater, me and Mrs. Wreap, and here he is, he's sitting here, and he's having a grand old time here, though Mrs. Wreap covered his eyes a few times, because let me tell you, it was a very intense movie. I was like, whoa.
Right.
This guy's like really put the throttle on this one here. Oh, that would be the writer, producer, special effects artist, and everything, Damien Leone. Yes, oh my God, he was crazy on this one. It was like a really incredible movie. I have a theory about him though. It's like, and I can understand. I feel the same thing. I have a feeling that he used to go clubbing during Halloween, and he'd meet the girl of his dreams in a costume, and then she would do the worst possible thing you could do to a guy. This is the worst thing: friend zone. She'd be like, oh, I just want to be friends. And you're like, no, everything was so good. I just spent $300 on drinks. She friend-zoned you. And who does she leave with? The biggest gavone in the whole place. Hey, she's like, that's the guy she'd leave with. And you're like, no.
Of course.
And then you'd see a few months later, like, oh, are you available? And she'd be like, no, I married him. He'd be like, yeah, she's like, oh, no. So I think that's why he kind of gets a little bit mad at very attractive women in costumes, because it's just like, boy, if they're in one of his movies, it's like, you should bring some mace the next time. That's what they really need in this one. But I love the movie, and if you saw our last video that we did with Elmo the Eye, with the poop creature, some of my things made it into the movie. And I'm just like, oh, well, of course I'm a professional. No, that's not true. I'm actually a fanboy who got stuff in the movie, so this is great. It's like, this is nerd bragging rights forever. I couldn't even get it out. I think a little bit of spittle came out, a little bit of snot. And, including, this is when I was watching the movie, there was a scene with Art the Clown. He was in a costume shop. And I laughed so hard, a big wad of snot came flying out of my nostrils into the seat in front of me. Luckily, it didn't hit the guy. And, I cleaned it up. I felt bad, the theater people have to deal with enough crap, so I cleaned it up, even though I'm evil.
I hope so.
Oh, so what a movie. So, they said the running time was too long. A lot of people said that. I didn't find that at all, I'm a big, I love cinema and sonoria with Mr. Lobo, and he'll take Children Shouldn't Play with Dead Things and make it 3 hours long with extra skits, and I love every second of it. So long movies do not bother me. So it was the perfect running time for me in that one. Oh, and let me tell you, also the newcomer, Lauren Rivera. Oh, she is awesome. You're in love with her. Admit you're in love with her, Wellington. He admitted it. Yes, he was
tell the world.
Oh, he's like, she's a very lovely individual. Oh, okay, yeah, that's good. But, oh my God, she is so tough. I would never want to mess with her. Oh my God, plus to the set she was working at, the one that I previously did work on, that place is freezing. I heard they did it during the winter, and if you go to the west side of the building, there's an old elevator shaft, and that thing caved in, so man, you just got outside air just coming in there, so props to her. Woo, she was tough as hell, man. If I'm going to fight, I want her to back me up if she's not actually killing me. Another thing I really liked in this show was one thing that often ruins everything for me is child actors. I usually hate them. Every kid knocked it out of the park in this. They were awesome. Oh, especially Jonathan. Jonathan was great. And I was like, well, he's an incredible actor. It's like, what else has he done? He's a YouTuber. This kid is freaking great. He's a YouTuber. He's for Little Punk People, where he interviews, different celebrities, usually in the music industry. And I was like, damn, this kid's got it made in the future. That's some good parenting there. Let me tell you, that is good parenting. He's great. All the kids are great. Even the schoolyard kids are great. Everyone did a superb job. And there was another character. Oh, okay, this is going to be spoiler free. I can't mention it. But this character is going to be another icon along with Art the Clown. Holy crap, they kept it up right with her. It was it was amazing. You're gonna see this once everybody sees it and the spoilers are out. This new character, supernatural character, wow. What's I gonna say? Wow, I was like, oh my God. But okay. Now a lot of people were talking that there were some very intense scenes in here, and yes, there was. I was like, whoa. And I have a theory about that though. One of the victims, I believe, has the same DNA as the Monty Python Black Knight. Because, the scene went on, I was like, oh my God, it's going to be a flesh wound. I was waiting for that line to come up. It didn't come up. And I was like, "Now, that's at least like 100 to 200 hit points at armor class 10, at least in the first edition D&D terms. I was like pretty amazed by that. Oh, and then, okay, but then, okay, it's only got to be about me now. It's only about me. So at one point there is a carnival scene. I guess that's not too much of a spoiler. You've seen the previews. You know, there's a carnival scene. So as we go along, we have a special guest here. We have an expert on carnivals. Let me introduce you, little Molly Malice Dolly. Listen, that's cute.
Hi, everybody.
Oh, she's adorable, isn't she?
Indeed.
Hi. So what was your favorite scene in the carnival?
I love cupcakes
Cupcakes?
with sprinkles.
Well, what about the horse and the blood and the...
And they run at the merry-go-round.
Yes. Okay. So that was an expert right there.
I don't know what to say.
Oh, okay.
I love the pretty girl with the wings.
Oh yes, that was Lauren Lavera's character. Yeah, she did those herself. She was very talented in the movie too. And also her mother. I noticed she's like, "Don't talk about my mother." Oh, easy. But I noticed that in the film that like a lot of people sitting around me, a lot of young people were very upset. They were like, "Oh, that is the worst character we've ever seen. She's horrible. What a horrible mother." I'm like, "No, you didn't grow up in like the late 70s, early 80s. That was a cool mom. Little potty mouth, but hey, she was very attentive, wasn't she? I think she was a good mother."
She needs cotton candy.
Yes, the cotton candy would have made her a little bit happier, but I know because like back in the 70s, 80s, that like parents didn't take any sort of crap. So like she would have been like a normal to a good mom back then. But this one, I think she's supposed to be the villain. I'm not really sure, but thumbs up to her. Very much liked her. Then we enter. Okay, let's see. How can I just not spoiling too much? Well, my stuff. Okay, so my stuff is in it, and okay, let's get the reels rolling here. So some of the creatures that were inside of it, some of the artwork I did inside the place, and I was just like, oh, now I want to really thank Gaming Leone because he did a lot of close-ups on these, and I was just like, oh, look, and Mrs. Wreap was with me, and I'm hitting the chair, I'm like, look, that's the creature in the pocket. I ended up being the noisiest guy in the theater, and I'm like the guy who gets like dead serious, like everybody better be quiet or I'm going to kick their hindies, and I was like the biggest jerk there, so sorry to everyone in the theater. But yeah, so those were my creatures right there. So I definitely thumbs up for this movie. I would give it a